Hey guys, welcome back to my desk. So I decided that I wanted to do another whip and chat and just kind of sit down, work on my blanket, and chat with you guys. So I am actually at the last repeat of this blanket, so I need to go around one more time doing the double crochet, and then I have one more round of doing the single crochet on top, and that would be the 5 rounds or the 5 repeats that the pattern calls for, and I would be done. But I think I'm going to keep going a little bit because I ran out of my variegated yarn and I can't make it around. I found this purple. It's not an exact match, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to finish up this round of double crochet. I have a cat next to me who's probably going to try to get in camera. See little Vicky. So, yeah, so I was saying I think I'm going to try to finish going around with this color, see how it looks. I know it is going to stand out a bit, but it's my blanket, so I can make it however I want. Yeah, so I think my very first video that I uploaded to YouTube was me starting off this blanket, so I thought it'd be nice, since I'm finishing, getting close to the end at least, that I would make another chat video and just sit down with you guys and chat. And today is the 22nd day of the 100-day project. So I got a newsletter in my email that had some reflection questions to reflect on and think about how progress has been going in this challenge. So I thought, I keep hearing my cat. She's just so distracting. So I thought that, maybe I would take some time and answer those questions in this video. I have not weaved in any of my ends. I know I said I was going to do that and not wait until the very last, until I'm done with the blanket, but didn't do that. So yeah. So let's see, what are the questions from the newsletter? Vicky, what are you doing? I don't know if you guys can hear her. I'm trying using a microphone this time. I'm using a Blue Yeti. And hopefully the audio's a little bit better. I know I do have a quieter voice, I guess, so Vicky, a quieter voice, so hopefully it picks up a little bit better with this microphone. So let's look at the questions. The very first one is, how many days did you do your project this week? That one's easy for me. I have not missed a day this week or this whole challenge. And here is Vicky. Vicky is one of my rescue cats. All of my cats are actually rescue cats. Vicky I found one day while I was at work. Our secretary came in and she was asking, does anyone have a box? I turned around and she was holding this tiny little kitten. And of course, I wanted her. And I had just lost my other cat, my other cat was a rescue too. She was a super old cat. I got her when she was about 8 years old because her owner had passed away, and her name was Phoebe. She was named Phoebe when I got her, and I love that name. And Phoebe got taken to the animal shelter, and since she was so old, she couldn't get a home. So eventually a pet store took her in so she wouldn't be, put down, and she was living in the pet store. But she was causing a lot of problems because they had 2 other cats in there. And yeah, Phoebe, I loved her, but she wasn't the most friendly cat to others, so they ended up having her put her in the little kennel thing in the pet store. And then I was buying my food there, saw her one day, and yeah, became part of the family. I had her until I think about 12 more years, so she lived until she was 20. Unfortunately, she got cancer, and yeah, so that was really heartbreaking. So I wanted to get another cat after Phoebe was gone, but I don't know, I just hadn't gone out to look for one. And then Vicky just showed up one day and it was like, I'm looking for a cat, I want another cat, I have to take Vicky home. So that's how I got Vicky. I love her so much. She's like my most, I don't know, she just has such a unique personality. I love her. Love all my cats. But yeah. So since I've gotten off topic, as always, that's just how my brain works. I'm constantly off topic. That's just me. So I need to put in, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my 5 double crochet into this corner, and then I will get back to discussing the prompt questions that I wanted to talk about with the 22-day challenge. Well, no, the 100-day challenge. And on the 22nd day, a newsletter was sent out with some reflection questions that I wanted to talk about. I am so easily distracted. Alright, so now I'm going back down just the side. So the question I was talking about was, how many days did you do your project this week? And I was saying that that one was easy for me because I have managed to not miss a day yet. Now, I did get to some days that were super close. So my challenge, I always want to call it a challenge, and it's not a challenge, it's a project. And I don't know, I just always want to say challenge because I guess I'm trying to challenge myself, but it's a project. So my 100-day project is to post to YouTube every day for 100 days. My initial challenge, there I go again, my initial project idea was for me to, I thought, I was like, hey, I'll post an actual YouTube video every day, but that was a little bit much with the editing, and I don't know how to do YouTube stuff yet, so it became, I'll just post something to YouTube. So it might be a video, might be a short, might be a live, and so far I've posted more shorts than anything. And, I do enjoy posting those. Some days of the challenge, I did get super close to the deadline. Well, not really a deadline, but my personal deadline. And, it would be like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, I have not posted anything yet, but I have to do it. So a couple of days I did just post a few videos that I had on my phone already. I did want to, only post newly recorded things, but I didn't want to skip a day, so for a few days I did have to go through and post, something I'd already recorded. And again, like, I'm starting this challenge just as I'm starting a new job, so it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to pressure myself too much. So yeah, I have managed to post every single day of the challenge so far, and I'm really hoping to keep that up. That's my goal. The second question is, if you missed any days so far, what might catching up look like for you? So I have not missed any days. I'm not planning to miss any days. If I do miss a day, catching up, I mean, I don't quite know what I would do. I feel like if I'm going to miss a day, that's when I'm going to use a video from my phone or just record something super quick. And usually that's the animals doing something. Like yesterday, I posted I think it was like 4-second video of my other cat, well, one of my other cats, Marcus, taking my crochet hook and walking away with it. I saw him, he was on top of my printer, and I had my project up there, and I saw him trying to pick something up, and I thought he was messing with the blanket, trying to get it comfy for him to sleep on or something. And then I see him with my crochet needle in his mouth about to walk away, so I jumped up, grabbed my phone, and started recording him, and I did get a cute little clip of him, with my crochet needle in his mouth, a crochet hook. And my crochet hooks have been disappearing a lot. Like, this is not the one that that I've been working on this project with. I have not found that one yet. I thought I had misplaced it myself, but pretty sure it was the cat. I find my crochet needles everywhere. Like, I'll go downstairs in the middle of the floor, there'll be a crochet needle, and I'm like, I knew it was one of the cats doing it, but I didn't know which one, so I finally caught him doing that. Yeah, so that's kind of like when sometimes I'll just post that. I think it's just kind of an easy way for me to stick with the challenge, stick with the project, and not skip a day. It's just to post a really quick short. And those are actually getting a lot more views, so hey, works for me. I haven't actually posted that many like long format videos, and the reason is mostly, for me, it's getting them transferred to my computer so I can edit them a little bit, because again, the sound for me was really hard to hear, and I wanted to bring them into Adobe Premiere to, you know, remove some of the background buzzing sound, because I hate that when I'm watching videos and you have that background buzz going. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know, it's just something that it distracts me. So I wanted to try to take that out, and then I also wanted to boost the sound a little bit of my voice so it could be a little bit easier to hear. But it's just so hard for me to transfer the videos to my computer because I'm editing on a PC and I'm filming on my iPhone. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I just have not found a really efficient way to transfer videos. So far, I've mostly just been using OneDrive. I just upload it to my OneDrive and then just download it on my computer, and it works. It takes so long for me to do that, which is kind of, I don't know, kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I'm going to look into a little bit more and try to figure that out. So I guess I was thinking about, you know, a way to avoid having to upload and transfer videos. I mean, I know I could just directly upload them from the app to YouTube. I might try doing that, but again, I just like to take out the sound, the background noise a little bit, and then add in some background music sometimes. I was actually going to try going live yesterday. I had set up my camera and, you know, set up everything, set up my project. I was going to work on this. And then I was like, you know, I don't think anyone will show up, so it'll be nice practice for me. So I just set everything up, hit the live button, and then found out I didn't know that you can't go live on your phone until you have 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers. So yeah. And it's, you know, I did read that, you know, you can go live using a webcam on the computer and your streaming software. So I do have OBS software on my computer, and I've played around with it a little bit, but yeah, I just wasn't ready to tackle all that last night. So that's when I just was like, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and upload the video of Marcus stealing my crochet hook. That'll just be my little part of the project for that day. I am gonna figure out how to go live. I don't know, part of me, like, I've been thinking, like, you know, well, if I'm gonna go live, I should probably do a face cam and then have the overhead cam too. And then me, like, wanting to be crafty, I want to make, like, really cute frames for my face cam and, I don't know, like, on-screen graphics. But I don't know, I think I should probably just start out really simple and just do something just really basic. Just have, like, an overhead video like this, a talking video, just to kind of see how it's going to go, make sure everything works out, make sure the audio is okay before I try all that other stuff. And then, you know, as I get better at it, then I can, you know, start adding in some more fancy things. Yeah, so those are the first two questions for the 100-day project reflection. Question number 3. What's working for you and what's not? So I've already kind of talked about this a little bit, about what's not working. And for me, the hardest thing that's, I guess, not working is just finding a really simple way to transfer videos from my phone to my computer. And I have tried doing it with the USB, and it worked the first time. But I don't know what goes on, but, like, it'll start transferring, and then all of a sudden it'll say, like, you know, device isn't available on my, and I don't know, it just, and then I can't get it to transfer. I do have a Mac as well, but my Mac is really old and it's slow now, and I don't know, I don't really like using it for anything except, like, kind of browsing the web or word processing or just something really basic. That I did try airdropping a huge file, and that worked really, really well. I don't know, just it's making me want to go back and have, and I don't have, you know, the money to buy a new Mac right now, but it's making me want to, you know, buy a new Mac. I use a PC right now because, you know, all the embroidery machine, my Melco, you have to use a PC, or you can use Parallels. And then, you know, my printing using Epson Edge Print, all of that uses PC. So that's why I primarily just use a PC. But I love Macs, and it's just my Mac is so old now. It's not very powerful. I don't even think I can update it to the newest, you know, Mac OS anymore. So I don't know, one of my goals, one of the things I want to eventually do maybe by the end of the year, or whenever a new one's coming out, hopefully get a new Mac. That would be really awesome, really great for me and the business. And hopefully it would make video editing a lot easier. So I don't know like how video editing would go on a Mac. I mean, and I'm not doing anything really fancy, so I mean, I'd be the most minimal, you know, video editing and photoshopping, so I don't know. Kind of just gotta look at the different Macs a little bit. I know if I start looking at them now, I'm gonna want one right now, but something to work for. So what's working for me with this challenge? I think the main thing that's working for me is just realizing that, you know, some days I will film an entire video, and then some days I'll just upload a short. And I just have to be consistent with things, because I know if I skip one day, I'm going to skip more days. So I'm I guess I build habits really, really quickly. So as long as I'm posting every day, forcing myself to do it every day, you know, I'm not going to skip a day. But as soon as I allow myself to skip one day, then that will become a new habit, and I'll skip, you know, a lot more days. So what's working for me is just pushing myself. And it's just a lot different now since I am working in the mornings. My job is online, which is nice, so I don't have a commute, and it's just a temporary job. I wish it was permanent because I am really enjoying it, but the company's located in Texas, so they're 2 hours ahead of me. So everyone else gets to start at, you know, 8 a.m. and I start at, you know, 6 a.m. And then they allowed us to come in and do an extra hour a day, and we can either do that before or after our shift. But I like to do mine in the morning and get it over with, because if I need to do something, you know, it's easy, like after work, it's just easier for me. So I start every day at 5 a.m. and I am not a morning person. I do not like waking up early. I never have. I have never waken up at, you know, well, I wake up at like 4:45, you know. My body kind of wakes me up at like 4 o'clock, and I kind of just hang out in bed until like 4:45. I don't do that. It'd be easier normally for me to go to bed at 4:45 than wake up at 4:45. So this has been kind of a challenge, and then I just feel like I don't have as much energy now. I just got to get in the habit of it. So I'm not quite as productive, as creative. I'm not getting as much business things done after work as I would want to. So yeah, that's kind of been a challenge for me. But I guess the one thing about having to post a video every day, I do think about, well, I guess it just forces me to make something pretty much every day, or work on something every day, which is great. Yeah, so let's see. I think there's one more question. So what are you committing to for the week ahead? And my commitment is just to continue what I'm doing so far. So stay consistent, keep posting every day. That's my goal. Yeah, so let's see. How far have I gotten? Yeah, this color definitely stands out a lot. It's a lot different from the rest of it, but I don't mind. It's my blanket. I'm planning to probably hang this blanket from the back of my chair, because my chair is like just this really boring burgundy mesh. Super comfortable chair, but it's just not cute. And I don't know, I think this would just add a little bit more color to it. So, I also wanted to talk a little bit about my business. So I do, you know, custom shirts, mugs. I kind of transitioning to focusing primarily on teacher-themed things, because I was a teacher, and I don't know, it just felt familiar. Teachers like things with their name on them, their school logos, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of just been my focus so far. And I bought a lot of shirts. So I bought some gray shirts that I want to do some sublimation on. And I guess what I've been trying to figure out is how to get some really good pictures of my designs to upload to my website, because usually for things that like sublimation, usually you do mock-ups because all my stuff is personalized mostly. You know, I don't want to actually make shirts with random names on them because, you know, it's kind of a waste. So a lot of that stuff I would just do a digital mock-up of how it's gonna look. And I just haven't found a really good way to have my mock-ups look as good as I want. Like when I look, I mean, I think some people might look at it and say that looks fine, but I guess because I know it's a mock-up, I know I can see it really, it's really obvious to me that it's a mock-up picture. And, you know, when I'm browsing Etsy and I look at other shops, and I see a lot of people are using these mock-ups, and, you know, as someone who makes that kind of stuff, like I can see it right away. I know how obvious it is. But I want to have something that just looks a little bit more natural. And I did find this really cool YouTube tutorial about how you can create your own smart mock-ups, and they're made to look so it blends into the fabric. Now, I'm not great at Photoshop. You know, I have taken a few classes in Photoshop just for fun a long time ago, so I've forgotten most of it, unfortunately. But I'm going to give that a try because I think that would help. And especially for the color shirt that I'm using, they're going to be heather ash gray. Because I had ordered white shirts before, but I'm like, I don't wear white shirts. I mean, most people, I mean, they're fine, but I don't know. I just think a nice gray for me a lot better, especially for teachers, because, you know, especially ones who are around younger kids, things get messy. So don't always want to be wearing white. So I thought the gray would be, you know, a nice color. And I do want to start offering a lot more colors, but it's just hard to keep everything in stock. The shirts are expensive for one, and then just having the room to put all this. I have so many sweatshirts, t-shirts, my sublimation shirts, and it's a lot to store right now. I don't have the space, so as I get more space, as I get more orders, I do want to offer a lot more colors. Like, you know, I want to have gray for sure, white for the people who do want that. And for sublimation, that's something that is done on light colors. So, you know, I would want like, you know, a nice light pink and maybe a light blue would be really nice. So I think tonight what I want to do is I want to follow that tutorial and see if I can get some really nice looking mock-ups, because I haven't added the shirts to my site yet because I haven't been happy with the way my mock-ups are looking, and I didn't want to add something that I'm not happy with. So yeah, so I think about, was it not last night but the night before, I was on Etsy trying to find some pre-made smart mock-ups that I could download and, you know, I could buy and download and use with Adobe Photoshop, and I couldn't find the style and the color and exactly what I wanted. So then I started looking up at how to actually make these smart mock-ups myself, and that's when I found this really cool tutorial, and I'm gonna give it a try. And hopefully it works out, because that would make things so much better, and I'd be a lot happier with how, you know, how the designs are gonna look mocked up. For embroidery, you can't really do a digital mock-up like that with embroidery because the stitches, like actual embroidery stitches and like the digital view of them looks really, really different. So when I need to make samples, sometimes I will go ahead and like stitch out a sample embroidered shirt and put a random name, like a really common last name like Williams or something that, you know, is a really common name, and I'll stitch it out and then I'll post it to like Facebook or something and ask, you know, and sell it for a discount and ask, you know, is anyone, you know, willing to buy or looking for or need a shirt with the name blah 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 on it. And usually that actually goes pretty well. But I don't want to stitch out 20 different you know, sample shirts like that. So sometimes for embroidery what I do is I take one shirt and I stitch a whole bunch of designs on it, so I have the actual stitches, and then I Photoshop the shirt off of that, or I Photoshop the background off, so I just have the actual stitches, and then I can put that on a mock-up. And it looks a lot better because it's not like just like a digital view. It's, you know, it's the actual stitches with my actual thread. So I don't mind doing that, but I don't know, for doing the sublimation for the printed look shirts, I just gotta find a better way to do that. So hopefully my goal tonight, get that done. And getting around this border taking quite the time. I thought I would be able to finish this at, like, during this chat. I was like, you know, we'll sit down here, we'll chat, and hopefully finish the border. So let's see how far I have to go, actually. Oh yeah, I got a long way. Oh yeah. Wait, no, this is... I don't have that far. Oh no! I'm almost done. So, one more valley, one more peak, and then this valley, so... Yeah, so... See, maybe I can finish it right now. After I finish this, I need to do the single crochet all the way around. I'll probably save that. This is kind of my... I work on this project like during my breaks and my lunch break when I'm working, because it just relaxes me, clears my mind. You know, I like to have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and just crochet a little bit. It just kind of relaxes me. So I'm probably going to finish this round and then I'll save the single crochet, do that tomorrow. And then I think I'm going to keep going a little bit more, because so next I should do a row of pink, and I'm almost out of this pink color, but hopefully I should have enough to make it all the way around. If not, I'm gonna have to scrap something together, because I know I have some tiny little pieces like I'll have to just patch it together to get it all the way around. And I think I'm also gonna do, so I'm gonna do this row of the pink, and then I'm alternating between black and blue, so I would do the row of blue. And I might do this row one more time, but do it with my blue color, because the middle of the blanket, it had quite a few rounds of just being solid blue. So I think it might look kind of nice if I do a few extra rounds of blue around the border. So I'll do my pink, and then maybe it'll be this granny square row will be in the same color blue as the center, and the single crochet. And then I might do this repeat again, because I think that would be a nice kind of edging to it, because it's a little bit more solid. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So we'll see, though. But that is my plan for right now. And then I will be done with my blanket. There is so much cat hair in this blanket. Cats are just, they love my crochet blankets, so every time I'm making one, they're pretty much sleeping on it. So by the time it's done, it's already full of cat hair. But I don't mind. Computer turned off. I wanted to see what time is it. Alright, it's 4:30. So I have 1 hour before I need to go and feed all the cats their dinner. The time change was a little bit different for them, so they were kind of excited that they were eating. To them, they thought eating an hour early. They're used to it now, which is nice. They're not in here an hour like now, so they adjust it pretty well. The worst is just when time goes back and they're like eating an hour late. So usually I have to kind of just gradually switch their feeding time. Like I'll just, you know, switch it by 15 minutes, like until we get back to our 5:30 time, because for me it just works really easy. Again, just being really consistent, feeding them at the exact same time every day, for me just works really, really well. Tonight it just creates a habit, and then don't have any problems doing it. Don't know why my hands are so high while I'm crocheting. They're all right up in the camera, huh? Okay, keep my hands down. I don't need to be that close to the camera. But yeah. I'm trying to decide what my next project's going to be. I do want to do some more amigurumi because I just love amigurumi. They're so, I don't know, it's so adorable to me. Like putting them on my desk. I also have another blanket that I'm working on, but I'm going to run out of white chenille yarn, so I might work on that until I run out of that color, and then I'll put that away until I pick up some more. And then I also have my llama project in my closet, and that thing is huge, so I will have to, I know I've done the head. I don't know if I'm done with the body all the way, or if I'm about done with the body. I know I have to do all the legs, so that's going to take quite a while. That thing's going to take so much polyfill stuffing. I'm going to have to buy a few bags of that from, probably just pick up some at Walmart. It's pretty cheap. So I might work on that. But then again, I just kind of want to do some small little amigurumi projects. I love making like the little squids and that kind of stuff. It's so cute to me. But we'll see what we're going to work on next. Alright, am I getting close? Getting close to the end. Another thing I've been wanting to learn is actually knitting. So I've tried a lot of times to learn how to knit. I learned to do, what is the stitch? I know the knit stitch, and then I can't think of the name of the other one. I want to say it's a garter stitch? I can't remember the name. But I followed, I don't know how many tutorials. I tried, I don't know how many times. And I did get a swatch made of a knit stitch. And I was so happy. I put fringes on it and turned it into a little coaster. I've tried to make other things, but I mess up. And then once I mess up, I drop a stitch, I do something, I don't know how to fix it. So I end up just scrapping the whole, frogging the entire project because I can't figure out how to fix it, and it starts coming apart, getting worse. So yeah, but I want to really learn how to knit. I bought a ton of knitting needles, all different sizes, circular needles, straight needles, double pointed needles, because when I was struggling to try to learn how to knit, I blamed it on the reason I couldn't knit was because I didn't have the same the same knit needles as the tutorial, so that gave me an excuse to go order some more different ones. Yeah, so now they're just in my knit box. And I really want to learn how to knit again. Crochet was something when I was a kid, my grandma used to crochet, and I would watch her, and she would crochet so fast, so fast. And I would try to learn. She'd try to teach me, but when she would teach me, she's like, okay, this is how you crochet. You just do this. And she would just speed down the whole thing, and I couldn't see what was going on. So when I was a kid, I didn't learn how to crochet. And then when I was an adult, probably in, early 20s, I was in my early 20s, and I found my grandma's, all of her crochet needles. So I kept those, and then somehow I got some yarn. I've always been a crafter, so I don't know, I probably just had it from other crafts like plastic canvas and stuff. But and I remember I found a crochet book of a pattern of how to make the super simple granny square dog sweater. So I bought that book, and that's really kind of what got me into crocheting again. And then once I had YouTube and the internet, that's how I learned how to crochet, basically. I saw that book on how to make a dog sweater, wanted to make my little poodle a dog sweater, and yeah, so that's how I learned. Love crocheting, and for me it's just the most relaxing thing ever. I feel like it's like a fidget toy or something, whenever if I'm feeling stressed, if I'm feeling down, just, I don't know, it's just very meditative for me. And usually when I'm crocheting, I don't know what happened with this stitch. Let me try that one again. Usually when I'm crocheting, you know, I'll have like some music, an audiobook, or I might be watching, you know, some show, watching some YouTube, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so relaxing to me. I guess that's why I like to do it during my lunch break and stuff. Just puts my mind at ease. Almost done. Yeah. So, getting to the end. And I know I do have to go back through and sew in all these, you know, the tails that I haven't sewn in, so getting to the end of the blanket is kind of bittersweet. I love this pattern because it's really easy to do, kind of just without thinking, just sitting, you know, you can just, you know, I can just glance at it and see which repeat I need to do, and then super easy to go. Okay, so I have my 2 centers, and I'm pretty sure I just need to slip stitch into, let me check, slip stitch into top of the chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And chain 1. So I'm going to go ahead and start off my next round. Do I have a stitch marker? Did I leave my stitch marker on here? I had a stitch marker here, dropping stuff, but don't see it. So I'm going to grab a stitch marker. Just because it's a little bit harder for me to see where the single crochet row begins. Sometimes I don't pay attention and I'll start single crocheting like another round instead of connecting it. Yeah, just gonna do a couple more single crochets just so it's really clear where I'm starting and what I need to be working on tomorrow. Alright, I think that's good. I know I want to stop right now, but it's just so addicting to me. I just want to keep going because this is just, I don't know, I love to crochet, but alright, I'm going to force myself to stop right here. So, yeah, I finished that round. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'll do my round of single crochet all the way around, do my granny square pink, and then probably do this whole repeat again in solid blue to give it kind of a border. I think that would look kind of nice. So yeah, so that is going to be it for this video. Wanted to just reflect on how my progress has been in the 100 day project, and kind of just use this as kind of a diary journal for me to kind of just reflect on how things are going for me, what I'm working on, and everything. But I do thank you for watching my video, for supporting my tiny little channel. I'm really excited. The last time I checked, we had 38 subscribers, so I'm so thankful for that. So thank you guys for subscribing to my video. Thank you for liking my video. Thank you for watching my videos. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another upload for the 100 day project. So bye guys.